Hey, welcome to this week's painting video. We are on the very final model from the League of Fatties kit. I've possibly saved the best till last. She's got the chicken wings. I'm super excited to paint this. So let's start off with those chicken wings, grabbing the pallid bone. And unsurprisingly, we are going to paint all the bone areas with it. These chicken wings are tiny, so had to pull out the paintbrush with the best point, and we are just going to try and capture all the bones. And my baseball cap is slowly creeping into the picture there. I do apologize, I'm getting right under the camera. My eyesight is most likely failing. I need to get a lot closer to the model to see what I'm doing. But it's mostly this tray, and there's one in her hand that I need to pick out. But they are tiny, they're teeny tiny, and they don't have a lot of surface area on them. So you'd probably notice that I'm going over them a few times here, and that's because I was worried that they were going to look too pale, and my hat is creeping further in. There we go. So, nice easy first stage. We are going to try and paint as far away from them as possible to give me a chance to let them dry up. And with that in mind, we're going to use the Grim Black next. We're going to use this black to pick out the Munchy Munchy box. I've seen some people do some crazy designs on these to make it like KFC or, I don't know, McDonald's themed. I can't do that. My paint skills aren't that good, especially with speed paint. I struggle to keep my baseball cap out of the film, and let alone try and do some detailed work. But let's catch back up with us in a minute. And with the final touches on this food tray, that's pretty much done. The only other area I want to catch at this point in time is going to be the unsung hero, her belt, that is managing to keep these trousers up. How on earth it's achieving that is a physical impossibility. It's definitely a good belt. I probably need one. And we are just going to ring the model. We don't particularly have to watch this, so let's jump forward again. Didn't want to bore you with the whole process, but you've guessed it, we're also painting the belly wheels black. Just makes sense, to be fair. I'm probably going to do the belly wheel in dark grey. I haven't fully committed to that idea yet, but if I am, black wheels is going to stand out the best. And there we go. Chicken bone's done, black is done. Let's let this dry for a minute. Right, with the model drying nicely, we pull out the runic grey. We're just going to do the metallic areas, so we're looking at the pistol and the two belly wheels. Then, quickly following on, we grab the Warlord grey. This is a pretty quick paint job. As I mentioned, this is the third one in the kit. I kind of had a vision of where I wanted to go. So it's just a case of getting it done. Getting it done. And you guessed it, it's going on the belly wheel. So we're going to cover the entire belly wheel, trying to avoid streaking because it's a very flat area. And with that being the case, speed paints aren't your friends on a flat area. So I'm just going to make sure I'm staying tidy, staying neat. And once it's done, I'm going to leave it alone and let it dry for a while. Up next is going to be the Cloud Burst Blue. I'm going to use this on her trousers to give it that denim type of look. Similar to what I do with my judges, so it just made sense that I'd do her trousers in the same way. There's so much shadowy area on this, it's quite comical. She's got leg rolls for days. It should take the paint very nicely. And I'm actually really excited to see how this model comes out. I'm going to be trying something a little bit different on this model. It's definitely a tester, so by the end of the video I need input to let me know how it went, what you might change, what you might do differently. I am limited by what paint I currently have, but I do appreciate any comments, any subscribes. If you look at my count, I'm creeping up very close to 1,000 subscribers, so thank you very much for all that. And I hope we can hit 1,000 subscribers very soon, and then do the watch time. We can start progressing the channel a bit more. So yeah, a few more flicks of the paintbrush and these trousers should be done. We'll come back when it is finished. With the trousers nearly dry, I decided the boots needed to be black. There wasn't another colour I wanted to paint them. So we're going to quickly dive back and touch that up. But as you can see, hopefully, that blue is looking so good on the trousers. I know my lights probably don't show off the paint job as well as it could, but they really darkened in the recesses and the rest of it picked up some lovely colour. I'm really happy. I'm really liking the look of this so far. And then if I can just get this black speed paint on without messing it up too much, we should be laughing. And now we move on to dark wood. Now you're probably wondering where I'm going to use it. I'm going for the skin tone. I want to start practicing different skin tones. I relied too heavily on the Crusader paint. I know it's laziness on my behalf. It's just the easiest one. I don't have to do much with it. So I want to try out a few things. And this one made the most sense to begin with. So let me just start getting it on the model and we can come back once a bit more of it's done. And there you go, finishing up the last few spots on the face, trying to avoid streaks. Not the easiest. Even though this model has so much depth in those wrinkles and creases, it also has a lot of smooth areas where the skin is taut. So I've got to make sure I'm avoiding streaks where possible. Easier said than done. But there we go. I think she is looking great at the moment. We got to see how that fully dries. There's some areas that I'm worried it's going to go too light and look a bit patchy. So we'll see how it goes. Would love to hear your thoughts on it. Drop me a comment. Let me know. I'm now grabbing the Crusader skin. We're going to use that on the chicken drummers. Being careful not to reactivate the dark brown that we've just put on. I'm just going to splatter it down. Make sure we get good coverage on each drum before moving on to the next one. Get the one that's in her mouth. The model is starting to come together. My vision is coming together. Sometimes I worry about the route I'm taking when I'm painting stuff, but I'm actually genuinely pleased with how this is currently looking. Right, this has had a little while to dry. It's looking good. There's a few patchy areas that we're going to have to try and fix, but I need to wait for that to fully dry before I make that call. So grabbing the purple alchemy, we move on, and we're going to use this on the Fattie's hair. Can't remember exactly, but this is like the third or fourth model that I have now used this pink colour on the hair. I really like it. It's obviously going to be a trend in my block that I'm designing, the Dan Abnett block. It's going to be something about the pink hair. I don't know how I'm going to link it all, but maybe they all go to the same salon or they're all from the same floor. But there's definitely a trend of pink hair going through the block at the moment. I just think it's so bright, it's so colourful, just looks cool. It's a nice pop of colour on this. Now we are grabbing the Hive Dweller purple. I'm going to use this on her top. Once again, it's a bright, bold colour, but it's darker than, say, the pink. It's darker than yellow, obviously. That's a stupid comment to make. Why? Of course it's darker than yellow, it's purple. But it's going to look like a colour that naturally suits the model. I didn't want to go over the top garish like I have with quite a few of them. I have red and yellow as a recurring theme on a lot of my models, and that's because I enjoy painting with those paints. I think they're a joy to paint with, but because I keep using those colours, I'm not testing out the other ones, and I need to practice more. Things like this purple paint can be really streaky if it's not done correctly, and I need to just practice and learn how these paints are flowing, how they work with each other, how to make naturally looking sci-fi characters, if that makes any sense. Also, if my block gang is red and yellow, I don't want every citizen wearing red and yellow, because they're not all going to be gang supporters, or even in a gang. Some of these just need to be a bit more generic. Look at that. That was a pretty easy paint job. Just wrapping around the model. Just got to get these shoulder straps now without reactivating the paint that's around it. So I'm just taking my time, trying to do stuff in one straight simple stroke to avoid streaking. And we go over the front, over the shoulders. Sorry, this is zoomed in on my thumb beautifully. The joys of automatic zoom. I am covering the model up. But I'm just taking my time. Trying not to shake too much. Trying to make sure I get just a nice clean coverage on it. And at this point, you could leave it to dry. And you've got tabletop ready. I'm going to do a few extra steps like I always do, and hopefully you can join me in a minute to see some final results. Hopefully you'll drop me a like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I will catch you very, very soon. Cheers for watching.